Hello, we're back. I got myself an Axial Ryft. I've been wanting one of these since they released them in 2021, but with the reviews, everybody was saying the front diffs were breaking and all kinds of stuff, so I was just staying away from them. They didn't seem like a real scale crawler, which they're made to look like, right? It's like with the guys and everything, it's a cool rig. So I got this one from a guy who wanted it at a raffle, and I got it for half price. So I figured I'll try it, and if I can possibly make it the way I want it to run. So it is like out of the box. It's 40 miles an hour. It's crazy. I don't know why they would make a rock bouncer go 40 miles an hour, but what we're gonna do is put a sway bar in it. It's got a horrendous torque twist in the opposite direction that a normal vehicle would have, which is really strange looking for a car guy like me. Anyways, it torque twists to the left instead of the right. But we put a sway bar on it. Can't really change the torque twist. They gotta change the rotation of the motors, and I'd have to change the direction of the diffs, and that's a whole different ball of wax. On the front, I put an extra set of dampeners that I had kicking around. I took the springs off, and it's just going to be double dampened in the front to hopefully settle it down. Because you can drive this the way it is, especially if you went on 4S. I didn't drive it on 4S. I did 3S and 2S. And it's just coggy until it takes off, and then it's just unmanageable. This is just my opinion, right? I want it to be a scale crawler. So I put a Castle Monster X system in it, 150 amp system with a 2650 kV censored motor, which I think is even overkill. If I had a brushed 550 like a Traxxas TRX4 setup, I would have put it in, but I didn't have it. So I'm just going to try this, see how it works. I had this in my Max, and for some reason the ESCs run really hot, so I set it up with a ProTech fan to keep the ESC runs way hot. I don't know if it was just the Max and a little bit heavier vehicle, but the fan took care of that, and it'll never get hot in this setup. So we got the sway bar, and this was all really cool. It came on Amazon within 2 or 3 days. It was at my door, which is really cool. We're gonna put a spool in the back, sway bar, and I got the 2-speed transmission conversion kit, the Spectrum actual servo that goes with it, and the 2-speed. So I can run it all the way from 2 to 4. Actually, this is a 6S system, which is nuts as far as I'm concerned. But we're going to run it on 2 or 3S, and then it'll be censored, and then it'll have the 2-speed gearing. So we'll see how that works. So we got 50 weight oil in the front. I did 20 million in the center and spool in the back. Characteristics should be way better. It really diffed out. There was actually no oil in the rear diff at all. So like I say, I highly recommend you guys go through your differentials. And this truck, it kind of looks a little intimidating, but it's actually really easy to work on. I like it. It's a nice setup. So I'm going to go through this, and if I see anything that's out of the ordinary on it. Some people are saying that the shifting setup in this isn't conducive to working very well or applying the gears fully. If there's something like that pops up, I'll let you guys know if I modify anything. But other than this, everybody has videos out there on how to do what I'm doing. Just going to see if this will work for the way I would like to drive it. So I'll keep you posted. All right, so everything has gone well according to the instructions up until you get to the point of putting the shift rod into the case, because it never had one, right? So you got to remove the little block off the front of the case, and then that's where your shift rod would go through. But it's really tight, and I've been messing around just to get it to, now it essentially just falls into place. But if this isn't going to move very good, you're going to burn your little servo out, right? So I've been reaming that hole out with, first I drilled it with a 1/8 drill bit, a little bigger, and it's still, like, it's barely got any movement, but least now it essentially falls down, right? So you won't get any binding with the for the servo. But with any of these shifted vehicles, I highly recommend that when you shift your gears, make sure the truck's moving. And even like a TRX4 or any vehicles that have a dig or anything like that, when you power the vehicle on, make sure the wheels are off the ground, because your remote switches could be in different places, and the minute the radio binds, it's going to activate those servos. And if they're not in the position they need to be, because you can see if I turn the gear a little bit, now that the shifting is bound up, until it rotates, it can't go all the way to travel, and it's going to sit there humming and just burning out. So that's one thing I would recommend. But that's the only problem so far, is that little shaft was really, really tight to get this to shift nicely. We'll get her finished up here. But oh, and the two screws to mount the servo don't come with anything, but I just found out it looks like they're the ones that you take off for the block that covers that shifting hole. They're 2mm by 6. And they'll hold the servo on right there like that. Cute, eh? See how long it lasts. All right, so I finished it up last night. Took it out for a little rip, and I like it. It actually, the ride now is it sits with a little bit of a droop in it. And I couldn't find any aftermarket springs. I just put the adjusters right up, and it drives okay. It's much better than the setup was. I had to trim the guys to get around the new ESC. That's the Monster, Castle Monster with the 2650 kV in it. Now, I had to change the gear. It was geared 1753. I had to go to 18 because the Castle motor is a little bigger with the cooling fins on it, and I couldn't get to go into the same adjusting holes, so I had to upsize the gear, which is something I didn't want to do, but it doesn't seem to be that big a deal, and I can still tune the ESC, which is what I'm going to do now. So that was the Spectrum servo SX108, and then the 2-speed AXI 332005, and then the sway bar kit AXI 334001, and then I put the spool in the rear AXI 332002. So it was pretty cool. All this stuff came on Amazon within 3 days of ordering it, and all those mods only cost under $100. Now the power system, it was in another rig I had, and you know, they're $400 power systems. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it in this truck. I think I might try the Fusion Pro from Hobbywing, but we'll see how it goes. I put bungee cords on the battery door here too. This makes it nice so I don't lose the clips. And I'm going to pull the laptop out, put a tune into it, and then we'll end this video with a little drive outside. Alright, I thought I'd show you the tuning process. We're plugged in up over there. Cool, eh? That's my youngest dearly departed son with my Grasshopper, which I still own. And in this picture, it's about 10 years old almost. Grasshopper's up on the shelf over there. It's little Alexander. Miss him, boy. Hey, we got green light. Here we go. So I'm just logged into my Castle app. We'll check what the short little log says last night. And then we'll put a little tune in it here. Change the tune from the max to crawler mode. Just make sure that the temp sensors and everything are reading correctly. Alright, so we got up to 80 degrees on the motor. That was about what ambient temperature was last night. Oh, look at that. ESC got up to 123. and nothing for amps or anything. So I was running on 3S, so that'll be cool. Clear the log. Let me know if you guys want to know or see more information on how to operate this thing. I'm not the greatest at it, but I could walk you through, I would imagine. Okay, crawler mode. We're going to try drag brake at 50%. Regular brakes at 50. I'm going to turn the BEC voltage up to 7.5. Because I believe, if I look in the manual, which I should do first, I guess, I believe the Spectrum system runs at 7.5. The reason I'm doing that is because the shifting is still not moving very smoothly. Once I put the transmission together, it was just a little bit stronger than, or harder to push than what the servo wants to push. So the nice thing is you can reach the linkage for the high-low shifter. So I can just make sure that it's shifting by pushing on it from the battery hole. I just pull the battery out and I can reach it right in there. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the Spectrum radio in it. It's not really. I don't like the way you have to set it to tune it. It's to go into adjustment mode. You have to full right turn, full reverse, bind, and power on to get it into programming mode. It's kind of goofy, man. All you got to do with the Traxxas is turn on your app. So I don't know. We'll see. Power, I'm going to turn the power down. It's at 100%, so. Oh, hold it, max power. Advanced. Basic. Max power. Reverse. Punch. No, we'll leave it. We'll leave that the way it is for now. Okay, so once you do any changes, you got to update. Should update every time you leave a screen just to make sure you're saving the things you wanted to save. And we're going to try that and see how it goes. That's right. All looks good. Update one more time. There it is. Click here, exit. Alex is back, and we're done. Okay, we'll go for a rep. Okay, so here we are outside with it. I ended up having to turn the BEC voltage down because it's only supposed to be at 6 for the operating system in this thing. So let's see how it is now. Drag brake is holding really nice. I like that. You just see I gotta move the camera up here a bit. There we go. Pretty cool, eh? Using my phone for this video, so bear with me. Yeah, this is neat. It'll take a little bit of getting used to. Doesn't quite fit on my teeter-totter. My grandkids love this teeter-totter. This is the way I get them
Learn throttle control. Oh, gotta fall off. Okay, let's check the articulation. My articulation board here. Oh yeah, look at that. That's pretty good, eh? I like it. Let's try going over the rear. Oh, yeah. And this thing is bigger than 10 scale. I don't care what they say. I'm going to say it's closer to 8. An actual rock bouncer, they say the wheelbase is between 111 and 120 inches. And 10 scale, all you got to do is multiply by 10, right? And this thing's got a 15.5 inch wheelbase. Look at that, articulation's nice. Now we check out the speed. Still has some Janalama too. Yeah, I think this thing is worked out well now. This is much nicer to drive, in my opinion. Rock bouncing. That spool in the back really helps too. Let's try coming up this way. These are just a bunch of little temporary things that's nice. Look how it digs. That I put up in different places all the time, so I got a little different course. The drag brake is nice now. Look at that. That's sweet. All right. Well, I think that turned out really well. So, on to the next. We'll see. Maybe the next video will be the mini crawlers. I can show you the inclination on the app and stuff. So, till next time, peace. Try out the Ryft if you get a chance.